Woman arrested for attempting to smuggle SIM cards into Camp Street Prison. A 29-year-old woman, Siobhan Samuels, from 11 Hogg Street, Albuistown, was arrested on Monday, July 7, 2025, while attempting to smuggle 9 SIM cards into the Camp Street Prison for her incarcerated friend, Ray Smith. The incident occurred around 9:15 a.m. during a routine search of items she had brought for Smith. Officers discovered the SIM cards cleverly concealed inside a tube of Colgate toothpaste, a tactic likely intended to evade detection during security checks. Following the discovery, Samuels was handed over to the police and is expected to face court proceedings shortly. In response to the incident, Director of Prisons Nicklon Elliott issued a stern warning to the public about the serious risks associated with smuggling contraband into prison facilities. He emphasized that such actions not only jeopardize the safety of inmates and prison staff but also undermine the integrity of the correctional system. Elliott reiterated that the consequences of smuggling contraband are severe and can lead to significant legal repercussions for those involved. Investigation into Adriana Young's death remains active. Crime Chief and Deputy Commissioner of Police, Wendell Blanham, has confirmed that the investigation into the death of Adriana Young, an 11-year-old girl, is ongoing. Blanham stated that detectives have been instructed to pursue further inquiries, after which the case file will be sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, for legal guidance. The case of Adriana Young is still listed as an active investigation. Detectives were advised to continue further investigations, and, upon completion, the case file will be forwarded to the DPP for her legal opinion, Blanham remarked during a live broadcast of the Safeguarding the Nation program on Facebook. Adriana was reported missing and was later found dead at the Doubleday Hotel in Tucson, East Bank, Essequibo, on April 24. She was last seen near the hotel pool on April 23. Her body was discovered floating in the pool the following morning, leading to public outcry and speculation regarding the circumstances of her death. On May 27, the Guyana police force announced that Young's death had been officially ruled a drowning with no signs of foul play, based on the findings of 3 pathologists. However, her family sought a second examination, and her remains were subsequently sent to New York for further autopsy. The second autopsy confirmed the initial findings, indicating no evidence of trauma. Dr. Carol Terry, Chief Medical Examiner of Gwinnett County, Georgia, described the original autopsy as competently and thoroughly conducted. In connection with the investigation, former commander of Region 3, Khalid Mundal, and several of his officers remain on administrative leave. The case continues to draw attention as the police work to ensure a thorough investigation. Kian Belgrave charged with murder of Jamal Green remanded. Kian Belgrave, a 30-year-old taxi driver, was remanded to prison on Tuesday after being charged with the murder of Jamal Green, a 26-year-old mechanic fatally stabbed during a roadside confrontation earlier this month. Belgrave appeared before Principal Magistrate Faith McGusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Courts, where he was not required to plead to the capital offense. The charge alleges that on July 4, 2025, Belgrave unlawfully murdered Green during a violent altercation at the intersection of Robb and Albert Streets. Due to the serious nature of the charge, Magistrate McGusty informed the court that bail could not be considered at this stage. Belgrave was remanded to prison until July 30 and was represented by attorney-at-law Dawn Cush. The incident is believed to have stemmed from road rage. According to police reports, Green was riding a motorcycle south along Albert Street when he engaged in a verbal exchange with Belgrave, who was driving a car in front of him. Witnesses stated that Green made an antagonistic comment, suggesting the driver should have hit him with his car before parking his motorcycle. After stopping his vehicle, Belgrave exited the car. Eyewitnesses reported that Green was seen holding a piece of iron and struck Belgrave in the back. In response, Belgrave reportedly returned to his car, retrieved a knife, and confronted Green. A scuffle ensued, during which Green was stabbed 3 times in the back. Emergency medical technicians transported Green to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he was pronounced dead. Police recovered both the suspected murder weapon and the iron rod allegedly used by Green at the scene. CCTV footage from nearby cameras reportedly captured the confrontation and the moments leading up to Green's collapse on the roadway. Belgrave, who sustained injuries to his left thumb and bruises on his back, was arrested at the scene. During police interviews, he admitted to stabbing Green but claimed he acted in self-defense after being attacked. The investigation is ongoing, with police reviewing statements from eyewitnesses and surveillance footage. Burbus laborer charged and remanded for drug and firearm offenses. Glenn Hector, a 22-year-old laborer from Lot 41 New Street, Cumberland Village, was arrested on July 1, 2025, and charged on July 8, 2025, with multiple offenses, including possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking, in violation of Section 5(1)(I) of the Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Control Act, Chapter 1010. Possession of a firearm without a license, contrary to Section 16(2) of the Firearms Act, Chapter 1605. The alleged offenses occurred on July 1, 2025, at New Street, Cumberland Village. Hector appeared before Her Worship Ms. Michelle Matthias at the Albion Magistrates Court, where the charges were read to him. He entered a plea of not guilty. Bail was refused, and he was remanded to prison. The case has been adjourned to July 31, 2025, for continuation at the Reliance Magistrates Court. Aubrey Norton unveils plan for public service salary increase. Aubrey Norton, the presidential candidate of the A Partnership for National Unity, APNU, has announced a bold plan for the public service, promising a 35% salary increase for public servants on the first day of his administration. Speaking at the APNU's campaign launch on Sunday night, Norton emphasized that the public purse is capable of providing citizens with a livable wage. "We are well aware that we have to pay our doctors, nurses, teachers, and policemen more," he stated, eliciting cheers from the audience. By the stroke of a pen, there will be a 35% increase to the public service. Norton highlighted the struggles faced by many public servants, who often have to take on additional jobs to supplement their incomes. He criticized the current government for touting salary increases while many public servants still find it difficult to meet their basic needs. Public servants must get a livable income. They must be able to live a comfortable life, he asserted, committing to ensuring that the country's resources benefit its workers. He reiterated his long-standing criticism of the government's handling of public service salaries, asserting that the current increases are insufficient. "Under our people-centered development strategy, you, the people, will be the main focus," he declared. "This is not a time for nonsense. This is a time to ensure that the resources of this country meet the needs of the people of Guyana." Norton emphasized that the APNU's campaign will prioritize the development and well-being of citizens across the nation, promising a government that treats its workers better and addresses their needs. Arrest update: Leon Moore sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. Earlier today, Tuesday, a female police officer executed 2 commitment warrants, CJ number 118824 and CJ number 1189/24, for Leon Moore, a 23-year-old Mason residing at Lot 1092 Phase 2 Farm Housing Scheme, EBD, and Lot 165 Titus Street, Agricola. Moore was sentenced to a total of 3 years in prison, in his absence, on February 12, 2025, by Magistrate Dylan Bess at the Diamond Magistrate Court. The sentence includes 2 years for possession of a firearm without a license and 1 year for possession of ammunition without a license. He is currently held at Ruimveldt Police Station and will be escorted to Lusignan Prison to begin serving his sentence. Juritha Fernandez promises corruption-free governance as APNU launches campaign. As the A Partnership for National Unity, APNU, officially kicked off its campaign to regain government, Prime Ministerial candidate Juritha Fernandez addressed supporters at the Square of the Revolution, vowing that an APNU-led government would be both people-centered and free of corruption. Fernandez criticized the current administration, stating that its system fosters corruption and pledged to eliminate such practices. "We will work to ensure a corrupt-free public service," she asserted, emphasizing the need for integrity in government operations. Discussing government contracts, Fernandez described the existing situation as a cesspool for corruption. She promised to implement a fair system that would allow all contractors to benefit equitably. "We acknowledge the contractors out there who had to buy contracts here and there. We are telling you that we will make all your lives better," she said, reassuring attendees that future contracts would be rightfully earned without the need for bribes. Highlighting the impact of corruption, Fernandez noted that it has robbed the country of billions of dollars that could have been invested in social services. She pointed out that while the government boasts about the increasing number of contractors, many struggle to get work unless they pay bribes. "We will ensure that all the work you do is done efficiently because there will be such transparency," she stated, adding that this would allow small businesses to thrive and invest more in their growth. Fernandez also promised to double grants for small businesses and ensure that all citizens benefit from the country's wealth. "Onward upward to victory, the APNU coalition will go, onward to a better life for your children, to a better life for our senior citizens, to a fair system for our contractors, and onward to development for our indigenous brothers and sisters," she declared to enthusiastic applause from the crowd. Manhunt for Brian Semple in connection with murder of Jeroy Gordon. The Guyana police force is actively searching for Brian Semple, 34, also known as Big Face, who is wanted for the brutal murder of 18-year-old Jeroy Gordon. The incident occurred on the night of July 3, 2025, at number 40 Village. Reports indicate that Jeroy and his 16-year-old brother, Jerry, were returning home on a motorcycle after purchasing food when they were ambushed just a short distance from their residence. Jerry recounted that one of the attackers ran across the road with a rope, forcing them off the motorcycle. When both brothers fell to the ground, several men armed with cutlasses charged at them. Fearing for his life, Jerry fled to Litchfield to alert relatives, only to return later to find Jeroy critically wounded. Jeroy was rushed to Fort Wellington Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival, having sustained a deep wound to his neck along with other injuries. Investigators disclosed that Jeroy had previous disputes with some of the suspects, which had been addressed in court earlier this year. Region 5 Commander Lonsdale with Wright confirmed that several individuals have already been detained for questioning as the investigation continues. However, Brian Semple, whose last known address is Lot 26, number 40 Village, remains at large. The police are urging anyone with information regarding Semple's whereabouts to come forward. Citizens can contact the police at the following numbers: 225-6940, 225-8196, 226-7476, 225-2317, 227-1149. Alternatively, individuals may report to the nearest police station. The Guyana Police Force's Corporate Communications Unit is encouraging the public to assist in locating Semple to ensure justice is served. Justice Winston Anderson sworn in as President of the Caribbean Court of Justice. Justice Winston Anderson has been officially sworn in as the new President of the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, succeeding Justice Adrian Saunders, who retired last month. Anderson, who has served on the court for 15 years as its youngest judge, took office during the 49th regular session of the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting. In his inaugural address, Justice Anderson paid tribute to his predecessors, acknowledging their contributions to establishing the CCJ as an institution of excellence. He reflected on his time at the court, highlighting its transformative potential and marking the 20th anniversary of the CCJ's establishment on April 4, 2005. "My 15 years at the court have revealed a transformative potential," Anderson stated. "In those 20 years, the court has served the people of this region with its full measure of devotion." He emphasized that the CCJ was conceived by the Caribbean people to serve their interests, guiding member states through hundreds of cases. He remarked on the court's role as a pillar of independence and a symbol of regional maturity, noting its influence beyond the 5 member states, Belize, Barbados, St. Lucia, Guyana, and Dominica, that have accepted its appellate jurisdiction. Anderson invited other countries in the region to consider joining the CCJ. Outgoing President Justice Adrian Saunders praised Anderson as a diligent and dynamic judge, affirming his capability to advance regional jurisprudence. Justice Anderson has demonstrated that he is a hardworking and dynamic judge, Saunders noted, highlighting his extensive experience in interpreting the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas and adjudicating over 200 appeals from various member states. Regional leaders have welcomed Justice Anderson, expressing confidence in his leadership and vision for the court as it moves forward. Men on Mission initiative delivers new homes to vulnerable families. The Men on Mission (MOM) initiative continues its impactful work in improving the lives of vulnerable individuals through new home construction and various social programs. Recently, Elaine Danraj, Dhunraj Giradai, and Sham Persad received new homes, marking a significant milestone in their lives. New beginnings for Elaine Danraj. Elaine Danraj, 59, from Cornelia, Ida, expressed immense relief and joy after moving into her new home. She had initially approached President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali during a community outreach for assistance in building a new residence for her family. Now, she can provide a comfortable living environment for her son and her 90-year-old mother, who has limited mobility. Danraj shared her experience, saying, "I feel great. This is far better than the one I had before. I used to feel sick. My mother used to put on patch things to prevent the house from getting wet." She gratefully acknowledged the efforts of those involved in the project, noting the swift construction timeline. "Within 6 weeks, they told me that they would build it. Before December, the house was already built." Dhunraji Giradai's new home. Dhunraji Giradai, a 69-year-old widow living with a physical impairment, also benefited from the initiative. After losing her husband in 2017 and facing financial difficulties, she reached out to the president for assistance. Giradai expressed her happiness in moving from her old zinc house, which often left her soaked during rain. "I feel very nice. My president, Dr. Irfan Ali, gave me a beautiful house and I must thank him," she said, reflecting on her new living conditions. A brighter future for Sham Persad. Sham Persad, 67, described his previous living situation as rough, but now feels hopeful with a stable and secure home. He expressed gratitude towards the government for their support, stating, "I want to thank the government because they are helping everybody across the country." Government support and future plans. During the handover ceremony, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Diadat Indar, emphasized that the new homes, equipped with essential amenities, will create a conducive environment for the beneficiaries. The MOM initiative has successfully provided new homes to over 73 families in the past 2.5 years, with plans to invest $350 million in constructing more than 50 homes for vulnerable populations across the nation. The Men on Mission initiative continues to be a beacon of hope, transforming lives and building a brighter future for those in need.